start with AstraZeneca. They say the coronavirus vaccine can be about 90% effective, but this data is a little different than what we saw from Moderna and Pfizer. So the drug maker says it kept 70% of people from getting the virus in late-stage trials. But you have to break this down. So when they got a half a dose and then followed by a full dose, that number goes up to 90%. So it's now become the third drug maker to announce really promising results, and AstraZeneca has been developing this vaccine with the University of Oxford. So what's interesting to me, Dr. Sagar, is that when you look at this trial, it looked at two different dosing regimens.
Right, yes. And I think part of the reason is because we want to make sure that we are appropriately dosing the medication to get the best efficacy. And like you said, it seems that the half dose followed by a booster full dose seems to be the most effective. I do know that AstraZeneca mentioned that they're going to be looking further into why that is. And also the US trials are still pending their results. So while the European trials and the Brazilian trial data is in, the US trials may also offer more clarity.
I think one of the things that really stood out to me in the AstraZeneca information I went through is that no one getting the vaccine developed severe COVID or needed any hospital treatment. So that obviously seems promising.
Absolutely. Like you said, this is the third potential vaccine that is available to us, and this is a very big light at the end of this tunnel that we are all going through. So we are very hopeful.
And for everybody at home, as we talk about vaccines, this scientifically is very different than what we were talking about with Pfizer and Moderna. It uses a completely different approach because, you know, those were using that messenger RNA. And this Oxford vaccine is a genetically modified common cold virus, right?
Correct, correct. So it is much more familiar to us as far as vaccines that we have used in the past. Also, it does not require the refrigeration and the logistical planning around how we're going to be administering these vaccines to large populations. It might be a little easier.
Right. This one is cheaper and it can be stored in the fridge. So the distribution, you would think in other areas of the world where it might, you know, be harder to get to, something like this.